This is an important video for all BH Express drivers about communication and being on time. Everybody needs to watch from start to finish. Let me know if you have any questions, if anything is not 100% clear at the end. As a professional driver, you have to be on time while at the same time making sure you are being 100% safe while behind the wheel. This especially applies to Sprinter vans, which is often used in the freight expediting industry. When our customers entrust us with a load, we have a commitment to be on time. However, if you ever feel it is not safe to drive, we fully encourage everybody to pull over and notify us. I want to briefly explain how things work in our business and give you 3 tips at the end that'll help you avoid mistakes. Our customers have shipments that they need picked up at a specific time and delivered at a specific time. If our dispatch team believes that the driver can make it to pickup and delivery on time, we give our customer a quote. On average, our customers get between 10 to 15 quotes on every load that they have available, meaning they have plenty of options. If the customer likes our quote, they give us the load and of course expect us to be on time for pickup and delivery. If we end up being late to pickup or delivery, this means that we are not honoring our agreement. Obviously, there are valid and excusable reasons to be late. Things like weather delays, traffic, breakdowns, and other things that are 100% out of your control. In these cases, communication is key. Our customer understands that there are things that are going to happen on the road that our driver cannot prevent. However, our customer also expects us to communicate to them in these events. Clearly, we cannot communicate to the customer that you are going to be late if you don't communicate to us that you're going to be late. As soon as you get a load, the first thing you should do is put the address in your GPS, look at the rate agreement that we sent you via email, and see if you're able to make it to pick up on time specified on the rate agreement. Once you put the address in your GPS, if you see that you will not make it to pick up on time, you need to notify us as soon as possible with the reason why you're not going to be late and your ETA, which is estimated time of arrival. So in this regard, as a professional driver, it is your job to either be on time to pick up or delivery, or to notify BH Express ahead of time that you're going to be late with the reason why and the new ETA to pick up or delivery. If the reason you are going to be late is something that is strictly 100% out of your control, you will not be penalized in any way as long as you communicate to us ahead of time. It is your responsibility to plan your route and to try to account for things like weather delays, traffic delays going through major cities, and things of that sort. Our customer may not accept traffic as a valid excuse. What does this mean? Let me give you an example. If we give you a 300-mile load that has 24 hours from start to finish, let's say you drive 250 miles and then you take a break. 250 miles will take you approximately 4 hours to drive. Let's say you take an 18-hour break and you have 2 hours left for that 50 miles. Well, if you get stuck in traffic during the last 2 hours of your window and you end up being late, our customer will not accept the traffic as the valid reason you were late. They may reduce the price, and we may also reduce the price on the rate agreement in that example. This means that it is your job to plan the route and try to give yourself enough time from start to finish. Going forward, our policies are for every time you are late without a valid reason, and or if you do not communicate to us ahead of time, which means you can't call us after the appointment has already passed and said I'm not going to make it. You need to be ahead of this. You need to realize ahead of time when you're not going to make it to your appointment on time. Notify us of the reason and the ETA to delivery or pickup. The first time this happens, it will be a $100 rate reduction from that load. The second time it happens, it will be a $300 rate reduction from your check. And the third time this happens, this will be a $500 rate reduction from your check, and your agreement with BH Express will be terminated. I hope all of our drivers have the understanding that when one of us loses, all of us lose. This means that if one driver makes a mistake on a customer's load, that customer may not want to work with BH Express anymore. That means that there's roughly 100 other drivers who are going to be missing out on that customer's loads. Just to recap, it is your responsibility as a driver to be on time to pickup and delivery. If you are going to be late for any reason, you need to notify us ahead of time with the reason along with your new ETA. If you are late to pickup or delivery without a valid reason, or you did not notify us ahead of time, you will receive a rate reduction on your paycheck. If you are late due to something that is 100% out of your control, such as breakdowns, weather delays, traffic delays, you need to notify us as soon as you realize that you are going to be late, and you will not be penalized. If you are late because of something that is in your control, such as not planning your route, not leaving for pickup as soon as you're given the load, waiting too long and then being late, or anything else that you could have prevented, there will be a rate reduction and it may lead to termination of agreement. 3 of the most common reasons why people are late. Number 1, they don't pay attention to the time zone. A lot of rate agreements are listed in Eastern time, which means that if you're picking up in a Central time zone location, you need to understand that the time listed on the rate agreement, you need to subtract 1 hour. So if your pickup time is listed as 3 p.m. Eastern, you need to understand that that is 2 p.m. local time. This is not the case for all rate agreements. Some of them are listed in local time zones. It does specify on every rate agreement. So every time we get a load and we send you an email, on the email it will tell you what time zone the times are listed in. Number 2, most, but not all, rate agreements are in military time, which means the 24-hour time format. If you do not see AM or PM, then you are to assume that it's military time. So 02 would be 2 in the morning, not 2 in the afternoon. 04 would be 4 a.m., not 4 p.m. Again, this is not the case for all rate agreements. Some of them do say AM or PM. When you see AM or PM, then obviously it is either morning or afternoon. And the third most common reason why people are late is because they don't plan their route. They stop and take a 10-hour break, not accounting for traffic through a major city, which leads them to be late even though they only had 20 or 30 miles left. They wait until the last minute to leave their home, they get stuck in traffic, and then they're late to pick up even though they had plenty of time from the time we gave them the load. Lastly, I just want to say that as a professional driver, it is your job to look over the rate agreement to make sure you understand where your load picks up, what time it picks up, what time zone the rate agreement states, what time zone is the pickup city and state in. It is your job to understand how many miles you have to pick up, how many miles you have to delivery, where your load delivers. Again, what time zone, what time your delivery is. Is it AM? Is it PM? Is it 24-hour format? Is it all Eastern time? All of these things are your job as a professional driver to understand, to review. If you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We'll be more than happy to clarify. That is all for now. If anybody has any questions about anything mentioned on this video, please give me a call or send me a text message or an email. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe on the road. Be on time.